So I know when it comes to like Kanye West, there's a lot of like unpopular opinion, and he says a lot of things that are like controversial and just out the door. Like, you know what I mean? Like left field, like what are you even talking about? But I think that he's very much judged and criticized and crucified in a way where it's not fair. And you know what I mean? I think that if we look at the message, he's saying a lot more than it may appear. And if we just think about it a little bit deeper, sometimes it makes like a little bit of sense, or like you can apply it to where it needs to be applied. So this is not to say that I agree with everything that Kanye says, but he definitely has some good concepts, and I think that we tend to ignore that because the media hypes up certain things and be like, "Oh my God, he needs to be crucified. How could he say that? This, that, and the third?" And everybody jumps on the bandwagon, and it's like, "Okay, we need to hate him." And I think that happens not just with Kanye, but with a lot of people. Like the news kind of feeds the narrative of how you're supposed to feel, and I think that just like Kanye is saying, we need to start thinking on our own. I was watching this interview with this live he had, and I don't really know. I know he's going on some like world tour 2023 or something like that, and he was doing an interview, and he had a couple of comments that he made, and it kind of made me understand a little bit more of what he was trying to say. And so I know he was mentioning like at least with Adidas and the Gap, where how like what he was trying to do was when he infiltrated into like the fashion industry and things of that nature, he wanted to do the $20 t-shirts. He wanted to do like the affordable, clothing, and let it still be quality kind of situation. And he was saying that like, the Gap, even though the Gap did provide that for him, they kind of kept it as the Gap and didn't want to add like the Yeezy part of it, if that makes sense anyway, right? So he was saying that basically these companies that even though he's able to get in and he's able to have his brand and he's able to market with them, they realize that okay, we can make money off of you, but we still want to keep that class about us, about being Balenciaga, being Adidas, being Gap, that sort of price retention level. You know what I mean? So that our clothes are afforded by certain people, and they are geared towards certain people, even though if other people can afford it. And I think that he was trying to break that mold, and they were still trying to give the prices of like the thousands and the whatever, and like the high retail, to kind of give that exclusivity, and that like okay, we're still like that top notch brand. But he kind of wanted to bring it, or Kanye wanted to bring it kind of together where it was still affordable and still quality, because a lot of times we don't get that. And because you don't get that, a lot of people look at Kanye and feel like he has this idea of grandeur about himself. He feels like he's more than holy, that he's more than holier than thou, and all this other good stuff. And I think what he's saying is that why is it wrong for me to believe that I am you know this much of a human being? I am superior. I am this person, and to believe in yourself that much. What is wrong with having this confidence? And I know on the level of saying like you're God or something like that, but what if you are God within yourself? You know what I mean? It's not to say like I am God over all you people, but I myself, I stand here and I believe that I am worthy. I believe I am a king. I am a queen. I am somebody that is you know, uh, worthy, if anything. And having that confidence, and sometimes some the people believe sometimes, and if you're one of those people, or if you're not, that understand that sometimes people's purpose is beyond what this realm or what this world can uh depict for you. It's not what they told you you're supposed to do. It's not to go to the 9 to 5. It's not supposed to be just go to school and go to college, get married, have kids, this, that, and the third. And some people believe that life is so much more than that, and that's okay. You get what I'm saying? And I think that we have to be okay with that. And just understanding that we're different. We're different. You could feel your way. If you feel like a 9 to 5 is the way to go, whatever case may be, if you feel like college is your way to go, that's okay too. If you feel like whatever it is for you, if that's for you, as long as you're not harming anybody else, that's okay. And we can accept other people in their same realms and understand that, okay, you know what? You're different too. And I can be okay with that as well. And I think once we learn to accept that, I think essentially what Kanye wants to get to is, erasing this narrative that we've been fed. And that's from the school system, and that's from work, that's from everything, and that's from the TV, that's from, just the news, everything. There's a certain lifestyle and thinking way that we're fed often, where it's like, okay, you're supposed to be this way, you're supposed to think this way, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to follow these rules. And I'm not saying like, okay, you're supposed to be just a chaotic person out here, but it's definitely about individual thinking and about being able to say like, you know what? I need to be not just get fed what they're telling me, but also be able to stand on my own, think on my own, and form my own opinion about what's happening. I should be able to say yes, no, maybe so. And it should be able to have your own opinion and understand that at the end of the day, the goal is not to be like, okay, the goal is not to be like, I want money, I want, I want power. Well, in a way it is, because what you really want, and even Kanye was saying this, is that what you really want is position. It's not about the money, it's about position. Because you could have all the money in the world, but somebody in a higher position than you has more, can have less money, they can still rule what you have to do. So position is everything. It's a position in your own life, the way you see it, what's going to make you comfortable. Positioning yourself in the realm of the real world, also in society, of how you see yourself, and where you find your place, and what do you think your goal is, and what do you think your objective is in life. Because life is not meant to be this just mundane thing. There's so much more to life. There's so much more to your capability, your mind, who you are, and believing in yourself and wanting to go in for these goals and aspirations, and understanding your worth and value in this place called life. And understanding that even building a community and working together in those communities, what power that can bring, what camaraderie that could bring. And it's important because that helps people to succeed, to elevate and get out of these crab in a barrel effect where we're just fighting over each other. And we kind of miss those messages when we get so caught up in certain things with Kanye and things of that nature. And I know that I didn't see the full Drink Champs episode yet, so I'm not really referencing that. I saw like a different interview that he just recently did, and it made me really just want to say like, okay, I know that he said some wild shit, but like, let's pause for a second and just go over some things. And then I know he made like a comment about school. And I'm gonna do like another episode about that too, about like the school system and things of that nature, and how it influences, and what the influence is, and the directive of it right now, at least as far as like, I'll say like New York State and things of that nature. Um but just school, like certain points that he made. So like also, what he likes to call ideas. An idea that he put forward is about the idea of like school taking away the confidence of future leaders. We don't think about stuff like that. And then he was saying that, these same people who take away this confidence, that these future leaders now turn to online to for validation. They turn to online to overcompensate, and that's what they look to, and that's why they end up feeding. That's where it feeds them. So that's where they end up living their life off of online. So whatever's fed to them online, that's how they're living their life according to, and they're not living it in the real world with real social skills, with real work ready skills, with real human being skills. And I think that's what it comes down to, just being human beings again, just being a being in this world and really living in it, and not just taking over it, or trying to uh manipulate it in a kind of way. It's really existing within this world that we have, and understanding that within yourself, and just becoming that maximum version of yourself to get the best out of life, so you feel fulfilled. And that's what I think life is about. There is a fulfillment that you can get out of life, that you can really like, but you only could find it within yourself. You can't get it through material things. You can't get it through even your family. It's not to say like, not to say that that love and support doesn't help, but there's really an inner part of you that really has to feel and understand that before you can even reach that full potential. And I think that Kanye sees himself beyond just the Kanye West that we see or whatever, and he thinks that there's more. And I think he still is that college dropout Kanye West that that we fell in love with. I think what happened was that now that he's in the industry, he's kind of trying to show us like the mockery of it, like the real dealings of it. Like, listen, like, with the type of clothing he put out, but the price range is just like, yo, like, that may not even been what he wanted, but it just goes to show you that I could put this out and they're still gonna buy it. I could put this out, they're still gonna put this price range on it. And he definitely did try to make it quality, so I don't want to take it away from that. But I think that he was just trying to show that he could do something different. And, right now it has turned into something else. And I know a lot of people might not be like, no, like Kanye, he's racist, he's this, he's that, whatever case may be. And I get it. And I'm not saying that he may not have said some things that might offend certain people, but I think his bigger message is sometimes lost in the sauce, if you will. And I just kind of want to touch on that and bring a different light on it, bring a different perspective, or just even kind of highlight certain things that he says that we tend to ignore because we kind of focus on the stuff that, like, okay, like people want to criticize versus like, okay, but what about what else he said? You know what I mean? I think that's what we got to look at sometimes is what else did they say? And not be so afraid to just kind of dive deeper and look for ourselves and to make sure that, you know what? And it's not always about being right, wrong, or if you agree or disagree. Sometimes it's just about, excuse me, sometimes it's just about an understanding. We could come to an understanding, you know what I mean? Like I could take points from you, you could take points from me, and like it opens up now your mind thinking. You now have elevated your mind. You get what I'm saying? You now are open to a different perspective. You now can change your perspective in a way. You can adapt it. And that's what life is. You adapt gradually. So I thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more episodes as always. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll talk soon.